Hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and welcome to the Storyboard, a brief weekly rundown of movie and entertainment news. New episodes are every Friday, so be sure to subscribe so you'll always be in the know. A quick apology. This episode is a day late. I filmed it on Friday and was about an hour into editing when the sound went all wonky, and I realized that I was going to have to reshoot the whole thing. So, apologies. But the extra day allowed me to include another story. But we'll get to that in a minute. For now, let's get it, shall we? The Lion King. Jon Favreau's live-action remake of The Lion King continues to solidify its cast, with James Earl Jones returning as Mufasa and Donald Glover taking on the role of presumably adult Simba. While rumors of Beyoncé becoming our new Nala continue to swirl, an idea I'm totally on board with, the film has found its Timon and Pumbaa. Billy Eichner, a guy I'm not familiar with aside from voicing Mr. Ambrose on Bob's Burgers, will be voicing Timon. Eichner is best known as Craig Middlebrooks on Parks and Rec, which I haven't seen much of, so I don't have a lot of commentary to add here. Pumbaa will be brought to life by Seth Rogen. Now, this is perfect. Pumbaa is a goof and kind of an oaf. I'm not saying that I think Rogen himself is an oaf, but he often plays one in movies. Now the question is, can he sing?
Streaks on the china, never mattered before.
Oh, woof. Well, thank Mufasa for autotune. The Lion King drops on July 19th, 2019. Jurassic World 2. The sequel to Colin Trevorrow's Jurassic World has added Jeff Goldblum to the cast. Goldblum will reprise his role as chaos theorist Ian Malcolm, who was present in Jurassic World and The Lost World Jurassic Park, but did not appear in Jurassic Park 3 for good reason, or Jurassic World. I was not a huge fan of Jurassic World, but adding Jeff Goldblum pretty much always makes a movie better. A Monster Calls director J.A. Bayona will helm this sequel, which will be released on June 8th, 2018. Unbreakable Threequel. M. Night Shyamalan is experiencing a bit of a career renaissance with 2015's The Visit and this year's surprise hit Split. Split spoiler warnings go into effect immediately, so now you know. James McAvoy's Kevin has multiple personalities roaming around his brain, the newest of which is the Beast, a feral and ridiculously strong supervillain. The very ending of the film has a surprise twist. From Shyamalan? Come on. That revealed Unbreakable's David Dunn, Bruce Willis, to still be kicking it in the same universe. Kevin Wendell Crumb was originally going to be a character in Unbreakable, but M. Night ended up cutting him from the screenplay. Now the Unbreakable trilogy that nobody expected will close with a film titled Glass. The film will feature Willis, McAvoy, Anya Taylor-Joy from Split, and Samuel motherfucking L. Jackson reprising his role as Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass. I didn't love Unbreakable, but I really enjoyed Split, so I'll check this one out for sure. Glass is tentatively scheduled for a January 18th, 2019 release. World War Z 2. I said Z, and I feel dirty. I'm Canadian, it's World War Z to me. 2013's World War Z was plagued with problems and had extensive reshoots, essentially changing the entire third act of the film. Due to the reshoots, the movie's production budget ended up being $190 million, and it only grossed a little over $202 million. A profit, but not a huge one for a summer blockbuster. Still, Paramount Pictures has decided that a sequel is worth the investment, and they've really doubled down, hiring, as reported by Birth Movies Death, David Fincher as the director. While I didn't love the first flick, it had a frenetic energy that was reminiscent of particularly Fincher's early work, like Seven, Fight Club, and Panic Room. While he has mostly abandoned that frenzied style with his more recent films like The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Gone Girl, and The Social Network, I'm looking forward to him hopefully bringing it back for this sequel. Brad Pitt will also be returning for the flick, which as of yet does not have a release date. Roseanne. I mentioned earlier that the fact that I had to delay this episode allowed me to include another story. Deadline reports that the 90s sitcom Roseanne may well be coming back for an 8-episode run. Roseanne was, in my opinion, ahead of its time. Most sitcoms back then, like The Cosby Show, were about affluent families. Roseanne was about a blue-collar, you might even say white trash if you're a family living in the suburbs of Illinois and scrambling to make ends meet. It really was a great show, and I'm totally on board with a revival. How they're going to retcon Dan Connor being alive, as apparently John Goodman will be involved, is the huge question. We will see. Lightning Round. Colin Trevorrow's as-yet untitled Star Wars Episode 9 has been given a May 24, 2019 release date, stepping away from the current slate of Star Wars flicks like The Force Awakens, Rogue One, and The Last Jedi, all of which premiered or will premiere in December. Episode 9 is going back to Star Wars roots by being released in May. 1 year earlier, on May 25, 2018, we will get the Han Solo flick, a movie that I will totally see, but still think is a terrible idea. Further, the long-gestating Indiana Jones 5 has been given a release date and will drop on July 10, 2020, according to The Independent. Again, I want it to be good, but I think we all still feel pretty burned about Crystal Skull. Time will tell. Sony Pictures will be rebooting The Masters of the Universe and have slated a December 18, 2018 release. Previously, Terminator Salvation director Mick G was on board to direct, but has since walked away from the project. Batman Begins and The Dark Knight screenwriter David S. Goyer will be writing the screenplay. The original movie wasn't good, aside from Frank Langella as Skeletor, but it was fun and I'm into it. Let's just get Dolph Lundgren as Gwildor and all will be right in the world. The Flash. It is no secret that Warner Brothers and DC have been struggling. Wonder Woman lost its original director, Michelle MacLaren, Ben Affleck walked away from directing The Batman, and The Flash has already lost 2 directors. However, various sources are now reporting, and please, for the love of GOAT, take this as an unsubstantiated rumor for now, that Robert Zemeckis, director of a lot of movies but also Back to the Future, is in talks to helm The Flash, or has at least had a meeting. Now, this could happen, and it easily couldn't. Having said that, I do think he would be a great fit. The man has an ability to bring fun to his films, and Barry Allen is a bit of a goofy character. Not to mention, Zemeckis already has experience with time travel. In Back to the Future and possibly in real life. And time travel is a pastime that The Flash is known to involve himself with. I'm not going to get excited about this just yet, because it's just rumors so far, but if it does pan out, I do think it's a great call. Warner and DC have been working hard to right the ship of the DCEU by hiring luminaries like War for the Planet of the Apes' Matt Reeves for The Batman, and Kingsman director Matthew Vaughn for Man of Steel 2. So here's hoping. Jonathan Demme. Speaking of luminaries, some shitty news in the style of 2016. Legendary director Jonathan Demme passed away on Wednesday, April 26th from complications of cancer and heart disease, at the age of 73. The man was an absolute titan of filmmaking, having directed, among many others, Rachel Getting Married, Married to the Mob, Philadelphia, the remake of The Manchurian Candidate, the Neil Young documentary Heart of Gold, and of course, what I would consider his masterpiece, The Silence of the Lambs. A film that won the Big 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Writing from an Adapted Work, as the film was based on the novel by Thomas Harris, Best Actor for Anthony Hopkins, Best Actress for Jodie Foster, and Best Director for himself. It's a bummer to be sure, but he leaves behind a huge amount of great work, so go check it out. And that's the storyboard. What do you think of these stories? Can you buy into Seth Rogen singing Hakuna Matata? What's your favorite Jonathan Demme film? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below and let's discuss. If you enjoyed the storyboard, please like and share this video as it totally helps me to build this channel. And you can subscribe by clicking the Courtshake logo at the bottom right of your screen, which should be popping up anytime now. New episodes of the storyboard every Friday. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.